Welcome back to Outriders. In this video we are covering the Pyromancer class. We've already done the Devastator, upcoming will be Technomancer and Trickster. In this one, as we did in the previous for the Devastator, we'll be talking about the class trait, we'll be going through the 3 class trees, and then we will be covering the skills. I've had a look through this wiki page, and I noticed that all of the skills have descriptions for the Pyromancer. Only 3 of the 8 available for the Devastator actually had a description. Not only that, but there were some things that weren't actually covered, like basically there was something called Stone Push, and there was no description as to what that was. So there are still things we need to learn about for these characters, and I've said that we will be doing that in the demo, then when the game fully releases. If you are interested in this game, make sure you sub to the channel and turn on notifications. I will be covering a lot of it, all the way from now up until way past the launch. We'll be going through the story, and we'll be playing all 4 different character classes. We'll be covering the end game. There's going to be a lot of videos for this game. So jumping in with the Pyromancer, the class trait is going to grant you 15% max health bonus and 10% ability power bonus. Additionally, your skills are going to mark damaged enemies for 15 seconds, and then killing one of those marked enemies will earn you 24% healing. I can't fit a couple of these things into images because there is actually one of the class trees which is called Tempest right at the end. It's far too big to fit on the screen all in one hit, so I've tried my best. I've managed to cover all of the different skills available in there, but I haven't managed to cover the name of it on that image. But I'll explain as we go through this, because I'm actually doing this through the wiki page so I can scroll up and down. So the very first one is called Ruler of Ashes. We're starting off with increasing our armor penetration by 10%. Obviously, they're all going to be completely different. The Devastator was a close range sort of tank character, and the Pyromancer is a mid-range, basically fire starter. There's going to be a lot of fire involved with this character class. So you increase your armor penetration by 10%. You can reduce the cooldown of your immobilized skills by 15%. You can increase your physical damage by 10% against marked enemies. Increase your assault weapons damage by 20% and increase the chance for assault weapons dropping by 12%. You can decrease your weapon recoil by 30%, so some of these are actually the same as the Devastator, class tree skills. You can increase your physical damage and anomaly power by 5% with Gifted. Increase your sniper weapons damage by 20% and increase the chance for snipers to drop by 12%. Increase your physical damage by 8%. Increase the damage dealt against enemies afflicted with burn by 10%. If you're marking enemies, you can increase your armor penetration against those enemies by 30%. Increase your weapon leech by 5%. Reduce the cooldown of your explosive skills by 15%. Activating immobilized skills doubles the weapon leech for 4 seconds. Decrease the time it takes to reload your weapon by 20%. Increase your explosive skills base damage by 20%. Activating your immobilized skills increases your physical damage by 20% for 10 seconds. Increase your sidearm weapons damage by 12%. And then increase your damage against elites by 10% and reduce the damage they deal to you by 10%. So with the elite one, for the Devastator, those were by 15% instead of 10%. And instead of assault weapons and shotguns that the Devastator had, the Pyromancer has assault weapons and snipers. Besides that, it does seem to be fairly similar. You've got armor penetration, you've got your weapon recoil, your reload speed and stuff like that. Not only that, but you have your anomaly power and your physical damage. Moving on, this one is very, very short. I don't know if these are, if these have been put in this wiki fully. I don't know if anything's up to date or anything like that. But this one is called Scorcher. And you'll see by the image, there really aren't that many in this list. But you increase your anomaly power bonus by 6%, increase your skill leech by 10%, increase the duration of burn by 20%, your fire power is increased by 15% of your anomaly power, increase your skill damage by 15% against marked enemies, even though it says market enemies, reduce the cooldown of your ignite skills by 15%, increase your damage dealt against enemies afflicted with burn by 10%, activating your explosive skills increases your physical damage by 20% for 10 seconds. Increase burn damage by 20%. Increase your physical damage after using any skill by 20% for 7 seconds, and it stacks up to 5 times. And then you can double your skill health leech when your health is under 30%. So it seems as though there's a bit of leeching, there's a lot of explosive skills, there's anomaly power again. We've got a lot of marked enemies that we have to deal with this character class. But then the final one, and this is the one that I struggled to fit it all into the one image. But this one is called Tempest, and you can increase your health points bonus by 10%, Increase your resistance by 20%. Reduce the cooldown of your explosive skills by 15%. Increase your anomaly power by 5% for each unlocked Magma Golem class node. And then Magma Golem is the one where you increase your health points by 10%. Then we can increase our resistance penetration by 15%, decreases all cooldowns by 10%, increase the duration of burn by 20%, reduce the cooldown of your immobilized skills by 15%, increase your armor bonus by 20%, activating your ignite skills increases your armor by 30% for 10 seconds. When burn ends, you can inflict ash on enemies, increase the duration of ash by 15%, inflicting ash will also inflict exposed on enemies, so there's a lot of different status effects that we can inflict on enemies. Activating your ignite skills increases your armor penetration by 25% and resistance penetration by 25% for 10 seconds. You can further reduce the elite damage against you by 10%. Upon losing all health points, you'll be revived with 50% of your health. Your Phoenix will be ready to activate every 3 minutes. And then you have another one, your Phoenix Revival will now grant 100% of your health points and will be ready to activate every 135 points, I'm guessing that's seconds. So that knocks 45 seconds off the time. It goes from 3 minutes down to 2 minutes 15. And we had something similar with the Devastator. It wasn't when you run out of health points you get revived. It was damage that would kill you. You have a 100% chance to ignore it, so you stay alive and you instantly heal for half your health points. But next, Trial of the Ashes, we have increase your damage dealt against enemies afflicted with ash by 30%. Activating your immobilized skills increases your anomaly power bonus by 20% for 10 seconds. Killing a marked enemy increases healing by 50%. Increase your skill leech by 10%, increase your weapon leech by 5%, increase damage by 20% against enemies with less than 30% of their health left. And then we are moving on to the skills. There are again 8 for this character. The Pyromancer has 8 as well as the Devastator, although all of these have their descriptions. And just remember, in the demo, there is no time limit for how long you can play. It's completely unlimited. You don't have to pre-order the game to access the demo or anything like that. And it's available until way past the launch of the game. It's probably going to be on the stores forever, or as long as the demo is. But literally from the 25th of Feb, the demo will be available to play. It's going to feature crossplay, co-op, all that sort of stuff. There's going to be 7 player levels and 5 world tiers that you can access. If I remember correctly, there are 2 chapters of the main story that you're allowed to play. But you can do it as many times as you want. You're allowed to use all 4 character classes. You have 6 character slots, so you never have to delete one or anything like that. And these skills, to start off with, we have Heat Wave, a wave that deals damage and inflicts burn to enemies in front of you. Feed the Flames, select and pull an enemy towards you, dealing damage, draining health and inflicting ash. Thermal Bomb, select an enemy to inflict burn and knock back too. If the enemy dies while affected by this status, they will explode and deal damage in a large radius. Then we have Overheat, deals a little damage and knockback to all enemies in a large radius. Additional damage is dealt to enemies afflicted with burn, and the status condition is consumed. Then we have Volcanic Rounds. Fill your current weapon's magazine with bullets that will ignite the air around enemies and inflict burn onto them. Ash Blast. Create an anomaly blast to inflict ash onto all enemies within a large radius around you. Phaser Beam. It's literally got dots in between each letter, so F-A-S-E-R. Phaser Beam, fire an energy beam that deals damage that benefits from 125% of status power, inflicting burn and causing interrupt. So if a big enemy's about to land a big hit on you, they're using one of their skills, you can interrupt them, and you can also deal a lot of damage with that. Then the final one is Eruption. Create a volcanic eruption beneath the selected enemy, dealing damage to them and all enemies within a small radius around that target. So compared to the Devastator, the Pyromancer has a lot of status effects that they can deal. It looks as though there's going to be a lot of stuff within these class trees that will increase your status effects, all the damage and stuff you deal with them, the duration on how long they last. And remember, the Devastator is a close-up tank build, like a tank sort of character class. The Pyromancer is for mid sort of range, and as we've spoken about, a lot of this is around fire, burn, ash, all that sort of stuff. But that's going to do it for this one. That was the Pyromancer. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. I will see you in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed it.